Hello everyone, Mason Films here, and today we're gonna do some lyrical analysis. Now what song are we analyzing today? I'm glad you asked. It's the Duck song. Yes, the classic kids song, the duck song about a duck who goes to lemonade stands and all that. We're gonna analyze it and see if we can find a deeper meaning. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so we're gonna go into the first verse here. A duck walked up to a lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, got any grapes?" The man says, "No, we just sell lemonade, but it's cold and it's fresh and it's all homemade. Can I get you a glass?" The duck said, "I'll pass." Now what can we get from this? What we can get from this is that the duck is obviously coming up to the lemonade stand, asking the person, "You got any grapes?" And he's like, "Nope, no grapes here, fellow. Just lemonade." So what can we get from that? Huh? What can we? We can get things. We can get things and stuff and more things. But more specifically, we can get that a little deep moral meaning here that, one day you're coming up in life and you're like, "Hey, I want some pizza." And then someone's like, "What if we get Chinese food instead?" And you're like, "No, I just want that pizza." That's like the duck song. He just wants grapes. He doesn't want lemonade. He doesn't want the other offer. He just wants grapes. Alright. Then he waddled away. Waddle, waddle. Till the very next day. Now that's understandable. Of course he waddled away because, well, they didn't have what he wanted. I mean, granted, he was looking at a lemonade stand for grapes, but it's understandable. I mean, he didn't get what he wanted, so he walked away. I mean, there's no fault in that. I find no fault in him wandering away, or waddling away, or whatever they say. Alright, let's get to the second verse. Alright, second verse. The duck walked up to a lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, got any grapes?" The man said, "No, like I said yesterday, we only sell lemonade, okay? Why not give it a try?" The duck said, "Goodbye." Now, this is probably getting a little tedious on this man. He's unnamed, they just say the man. But it's probably getting a little tedious on him because he's obviously like, okay, we're a lemonade stand, but why is this guy asking us for grapes? It's probably like some confusion in him, basically. And the duck, he keeps coming back, even though yesterday there were no grapes. It makes no sense. Alright, and then like usual, he waddled away, waddle waddle. Then he waddled away, waddle waddle waddle, till the very next day. Now into verse 3. When the duck walked up to the lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, got any grapes?" Man said, "Look, this is getting old. I mean, lemonade's all we've ever sold. Why not give it a go?" Duck said, "How about no?" Now, what is being represented here? It's another day. It's the third day, and this duck keeps asking for grapes. It's like you're being nagged. Like, say you're at school or work or whatever, and your boss is getting on your case, or your teacher's getting on your case about something like, "Do this, do this, do this." But you're like, "I don't know how to do this. What should I do?" Well, that's the man in this situation, and the duck would be the teacher, the boss, or anything that's giving you stress. It keeps coming back and reminding you, such as like you're thinking about something like, "Oh man, I gotta get to that important meeting," and then you keep thinking about, "Oh, I gotta get to that meeting. Oh, I gotta get to that meeting." Well, just like that, the thinking of the meeting is the duck reminding the man, "I want some grapes," or "Do you have any grapes?" or whatever. And the man's like, "No, we don't have grapes. We don't have grapes. We don't have grapes," because it's stressing him out. It's freaking him out. And now we need to get a little deeper. Why how is this duck showing up? Now that's a good question. How is this duck showing up? He's showing up, obviously, walking or waddling, whatever you want to say, to the lemonade stand and talking to the man. Now, as far as my knowledge goes, ducks don't talk. I don't think they do. I haven't seen a duck recently. But I also don't think that they eat grapes. Now let me do a quick Google search. Do ducks eat grapes? Grapes, bananas, and plums, and watermelon, and peaches are all fine with ducks, in moderation. So if you want to feed a duck some grapes, that's actually fine. So yes, ducks will eat grapes. So, I hope we all learned something new from that. And then obviously he waddled away, waddle, waddle. And he waddled away, waddle, 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 till the very next day. And yeah, so here's the next verse, ladies and gentlemen. Next verse, which I like to define as the struggle. When the duck walked up to the lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, got any grapes?" And now this is the breaking point of the man. The man said, "That's it. If you don't stay away, duck, I'll glue you to a tree and leave you there all day. So don't get too close." And the duck says, "Adios." He's leaving. He's afraid, obviously, because this man just threatened him. He threatened him with gluing him to a tree and leaving him, possibly for starvation, like torture. You don't know. It's implied that he will, if he goes there, he'll get glued to a tree. Now, yeah, I lost my train of thought there, but yes, it's a threat. It is a direct threat. But does the duck go to the police? No. He just says, "Adios," and he waddles away. Waddle, waddle. And he waddles away, waddle, 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 till the very next day. Now, this next verse is tempting fate here. The duck walked up to the lemonade stand, and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, got any glue?" "What?" the man says. "Got any glue?" "No. Why would I?" "Oh, and one more question for you. Got any grapes?" Now that is tempting fate. The duck was threatened. He was threatened with his life, but he still came back. Now I'm going to do a quick search for a Bible quote, and this might clear some things up. I mean, is this song biblical? Who knows? We're gonna be right back. I mean, might be a little bit of Google searching for me, but for you it'll be like a second. So on to the search. All right. After some extensive research, I found a biblical quote that is about tempting fate, like the duck did. It is, so the duck was threatened, obviously, with being glued to a tree, but he still persisted because, well, he has no fear. And I found Psalm 23, or chapter 23, verse 4, which is, "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me." Now that is trust. He's walking through the duck is walking through the darkest valley. Yes, walking through the darkest valley, which is the valley of that area being the threat. And he has no fear. "I will fear no evil, for you are with me." So is this duck believing in God? It could be. It just could be. You never know. Now we're going to get into what I like to call, a change of heart for the man. Although, well, let me just show you. The man just stopped, and he started to smile. He started to laugh. He laughed for a while. He said, "Come on, duck, let's walk to the store. I'll buy you some grapes, so you won't have to ask anymore." So they walked to the store, and the man bought some grapes. He gave one to the duck, and the duck said, "No thanks, but you know what sounds good? It would make my day. Do you think this store has any lemonade?" Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is an M. Night Shyamalan twist. Whew, that's a classic right there. Now, it's never said after that what happened to the man, if he snapped, because I assume that's a logical thing. He would have snapped, because this duck is pestering him over and over for grapes. So he finally breaks down and gets him some grapes, and then he's like, "You got any lemonade?" And we can all understand the struggle of that. I assume most people can understand the struggle. So yeah, the struggle is the grapes, obviously. I mean, the grapes are the struggle, basically. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I lost my train of thought again. Grapes are the struggle. Yes, so the grapes are representing the like I said earlier, the stress. Well, the duck was representing the stress, but more importantly, the grapes, were also distressed because it was the thing that was being demanded over and over. But now it changes to lemonade, and this man's life could have shattered because just a couple sentences ago, he stopped and started to smile and started to laugh. He was having a change of heart. He's like, okay, I'll help this duck, and maybe he won't bother me anymore. But then he drops that line. Do you think this store has any lemonade? And that just wraps up the whole thing. I hope you enjoyed Lyrical Analysis Episode 1. Tune in next time for more lyrical analysis of songs. So, yeah.